Hey, this will be a video chart on DMGM. I've never seen this ticker before, but today, what was up 5,500%? Yes, that's what I said, 5,500%. So it was setting off radars all over the place. Set off mine, went to a few other message boards. A lot of people talking about it. So I, was kind of looking into it, and it's looking like it's a potential buyout candidate from what I gathered. And I saw the $2 price floating around out there. So before I even get started, yes, I've gotten a bunch of chart requests, but if this $2 thing is true and they put out a press release, then I would probably throw out all these resistance levels that I map out the window, because if it's truly $2, then this thing will probably gap up huge if it's a pre-market press release, and none of this will matter. But there's always a chance maybe it doesn't, and the chart will come back into play in terms of kind of judging how the market sentiment still does feel towards it. Obviously, if this thing just crashes back down, then it looks like everybody gave up on the speculation. But if it can still, maintain these supports, then that's where you can, come to the conclusion that people are still worth giving it a try and aren't giving up on it quite yet. So pretty much in a nutshell, if this $2 thing is true, then, rule this out. All these resistance levels should get crushed and no problem. But if it's not, then the chart goes back into play, because you can measure people's sentiment and whether or not they're still willing to hold on and let this thing play out. So I'm using a 5-minute chart, and all that means is each one of these bars or candlesticks represent 5 minutes worth of time. Usually I would never do this, but this literally just came today. If we look at the daily chart, or better yet, if I just crunch this up, you can see that there's essentially no history on this at all until today when all this started to come through. So 5 minutes is the best way to look at it, and with all the liquidity it got today, it still does form a pretty nice chart. So the first thing to note is, the thing went from basically below a penny all the way up to 22 cents, and like I said, a 5,500% gainer. But yeah, that's great. The thing now becomes, what's going to happen, going forward. And the best way to measure this, at least from, the 5-minute, is by looking at this 50-period moving average. As you can see, the price started to pull back here. There was probably a little bit of freaking out, but then lo and behold, hit that 50 period and nice bounce, and then at the close came back down with 10 minutes left, bounced it once again, and then you look down here at this volume bar. In the last 5 minutes, people are really loading, so that tells me there's probably some people in here that just are throwing some money at it to see if something happens over the weekend. I did pick up some shares just to see what happens. If nothing does happen, oh well. I didn't throw my life savings at it, but if something does happen, it'll be a nice little trade. So I'm sure that I'm not the only one that was thinking that way, and other people probably did contribute to this volume bar in the last 5 minutes here. Now, in terms of supports, like I said, the 50 period is going to be important, but let's say nothing happens, and the press release, just nothing comes out Monday. The level that I'll really be watching is this 10-cent level. It was an area here where it acted as resistance, and then the price pulled back here, and you can see acted as support, and then the 50 period, and it kind of timed up perfectly here, and once again provided support. So this will be kind of my initial area to judge whether or not there's still strength in the chart, or if things are just pretty much all the strength's going out the window. If that doesn't hold, then I'll also be watching this level down here, which is right around, let's see, these highs were at, we'll just say 5 cents. So 5 cents is another important area, once again, to judge the strength. Because, like I said, if the PR does come out, this thing should, have a nice day. If it doesn't, then, we're going to have some way to measure people's feelings towards the stock, and viewing these support levels will do just that. So 10 cents and 5 cents are going to be the two key levels, and you may be thinking, well, that's some pretty big percentage gaps. Well, that's what you get when you have a stock that moves up 5,500%. That's just the risk that you take. Playing a stock like this is something that goes up so far like that. The space between support levels is going to get pretty big because it just rocketed up so much. So that's just the risk you inherit in playing a stock like this that's run so much. And then to measure, maybe the press release doesn't come out. If resistance level starts to get broken, then that's one of two things. There's more people that are piling in to think about, or to possibly play a PR that comes up maybe Tuesday or Wednesday, or it's just one of those things that will solidify more and more the case that something really is going on. Seeing today's volume and seeing how it held up and didn't, come up here and then crash straight back down, that's a good sign that, maybe there is something to it. But if, Monday rolls around, no press release, and it's still a nice steady incliner where it can break out of this resistance line here, and that's another sign where, maybe there is some credibility to, what's been floating around out there with the press release and so forth. So that's kind of what's going on from the charting. For the people that ask me what are my thoughts on the chart, that's what it is right now. But like I said, it's if the press release comes out and everything's legit, then you're just gonna have to go with your gut instincts, because the chart will be blue sky breakout, and it's not going to really help you doubt too much. But if it doesn't, like I said, that's where the chart really comes into play to help gauge the sentiment towards whether people are still feeling bullish towards all the speculation and all that stuff. So if you do have any other questions, please let me know. If not, I'd encourage you to check out bullwarriorstocks.com. If you go there and sign up for the free newsletter, then you will be sent a free ebook, and with the newsletter subscription, you'll get chart setups, trade ideas, educational pieces, all sorts of things, from big boards down to penny stocks. So there's a good variety, something for everybody. We've been making some good money together, so I'd encourage you to head to the website, sign up, and give it a try. One more time, this was DMGM. Thanks for listening, and enjoy your weekends.